Hello and welcome to the Watchdog News Network. We talk about news and stuff type things really piss us off today. You know, the shit's all kinds of fucked up and stuff all over the place. We got a lot of shit to talk about. We better not delay any further. We better get to it. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. Today's discussion is about dirty little piggies being dirty little piggies. Fantastic. So throughout these protests that have been going on, we've seen a lot of reports of violence initiated by police. If we were to watch major media, it sure would look like the protesters are the ones doing all the damage, making no distinction between protest and riots, which is part of the problem. So the Associated Press has announced that at least 9,300 people have been arrested in protest across the country since George Floyd's death, according to their tally. So when there's if there were 9,300 people arrested in mass protest and also riots, then I would assume that that's probably about a tenth of the total people
right
who participated. So if that is even a little bit accurate, around about 100,000 people have participated. Probably much more than that. But 9,300 is a staggering number. It's hard for me to believe that there were that many people who were violently rioting or looting or things of that sort. That's an awful lot, and of course, a lot of people got away for that, didn't they? So the events leading up to Floyd's death were filmed and went viral, and became the catalyst for protests nationwide. Police were called around 8 p.m. May 25th as an employee of a Cup Foods convenience store, alleging a customer used a counterfeit bill to pay for cigarettes, and that the person appeared drunk, according to the 911 log released by Minneapolis Police Department. And of course, that's always accurate. I've never heard a 911 call that wasn't entirely 100% truthful.
Right.
I don't know if it is or not. We'll find out. It'll come out eventually, and then it will be immediately suppressed.
Right.
So look at this picture. Isn't that a great picture?
It is.
So I see a bunch of pale faces behind the guy. It's just a striking image, you know? It's a very striking image. I don't know where it was from or anything else about it, but
Protester outside of St. George Hall in Liverpool.
So that's what I think is amazing, that this is spread international.
People are tired of fucking oppressive shit, man.
Yeah, so I'm hearing from affiliates in Australia that this is pretty much 24/7 news. They're covering it. They're covering it as much, if not more, than we are.
You know, and of those 9,300, right? They're indiscriminately arresting people, right?
Well, we've seen that too. They herd people into corners and then arrest everyone that they can.
You know, I mean,
that's the way it's supposed to be. What they really want to do is make the crowd want to go home. Police are always outnumbered. Police are always outnumbered at riots, especially protests in general. So they really have to make themselves appear stronger than they are and more numerous than they are. That's why they, wear shields and full gear, and they have a bunch of cars parked around and shit like that. The whole idea of crowd control is to push the crowd and keep them moving so that nobody congregates and gets organized enough to retaliate against you. So if they're able to collect 700 people in a night, it's which a lot of these cities are. Some of these cities are collecting hundreds of people in a night.
Scooping them up like the krill shrimp.
Right. So I mean that's pretty insane in itself. And how much more capacity do they have? How many more people can they arrest? How long are these people going to be in there for? How much? It sparks a whole bunch of more questions. Are they going to receive a fair trial?
I miss Janet.
Are they doing proper procedures of evidence control? Are they examining?
Of course.
Are they doing
Of course. Just obey.
Just obey, because they do such a good job on a normal, regular basis that of course, now that people are protesting police specifically, of course they're going to do go above and beyond to make sure that they don't arrest anybody illegally or brutalize them as they're arresting them.
Wait. Here, let me show you that they're not doing that. Okay.
Okay.
I'll show you that they're not doing that. Can y'all hear this shit? No, because I can't hear that shit.
How about someone had a foot or knee on my head or neck against the ground. I put my arm behind my back, which the way they were twisting my body, I couldn't do. They told me to stop resisting, but I wasn't resisting. I clearly identified myself as a journalist. I had a press badge on. And by the time
isn't big enough.
That's right. They couldn't read it.
They finally cuffed me and stood me up. I yelled at them repeatedly to grab my phone, which had fallen onto the ground. I kept screaming that I was a journalist and that I needed my phone. And they refused. And instead, what did they say? They said, shut the up. They called me a asshole.
I'm a journalist! Oh, fuck! I'm fine. Give me a hand. They're right here. Please get my phone. I can't get it. I can't get it around. Stop resisting. I'm not resisting, guys.
And there was a massive protest that started near a train station. They marched all over the neighborhood. And then eventually, in the evening, the cops started to get aggressive. And there were a ton of clashes. It kind of turned into a cycle of conflict where there'd be two lines of, the cops in riot gear, and then a line of protesters. Occasionally, some protesters would throw some projectiles, maybe a glass bottle or a stone. And usually when that happens, cops would charge and begin to kind of tackle and indiscriminately arrest and sometimes violently arrest protesters. They often deployed a lot of pepper spray. They used their batons. They sometimes dragged protesters across the concrete to bring them to the police van.
Okay, we can't listen to not one more word of this fake news. This is all lies.
It is.
It's all lies. They're fucking liars. These people are out there antagonizing police. They're saying things like fuck the police and bad piggies and this is why cops drop. And they can't make them feel good. It's got to hurt their feelings. So of course these police are going to beat you up. Of course they're going to drag you through the streets and pepper spray you and tase you in the balls and shoot your dog and pepper spray your daughter.
And yeah, it was
7-year-old kids are not immune. 7-year-old children are not immune. Broad daylight. All right, so you just continue.
Here's the face of a hardened criminal.
Right there, yeah. Right.
Incredibly chaotic and crazy scene.
If you look at my press pass, I'm a journalist. You're arresting a journalist right now.
Then you should have gotten out of my way.
I didn't get out of the way. You ran past me. Can you please get my phone? It's right there. Get my phone. Get out of here. Let's go.
And then they brought me to the police van, and I went to the precinct, where I was put in a cell with 15 other guys. I was there probably in that cell for an hour or so, before being transferred over to another precinct where I was issued a summons for refusal to disperse and then released. I think, although as much as I think it's important to protect journalists' ability to cover these rallies, and what happened to me was definitely wrong, I think it's also important to often keep the focus on the thousands of other people that are getting arrested that aren't journalists and don't have the resources and privileges that we have.
Fantastic point. So this guy has a team of attorneys on retainer. His bond is pre-posted. He was on the job at the time. He was getting paid for that. It's in these guys down here on the ground who are on the front lines put themselves in an awful lot of danger trying to take pictures. And in our community, we've seen an awful lot of violence on photographers. Major media doesn't get that very often, so I don't really feel sorry for them, and that they're finally getting a taste of our medicine, at least the medicine that they've been dishing out to us for quite a while now.
Right.
I'm actually relieved that they're starting to talk about it.
Right.
Right, because we have a lot of videos where these guys are treated far better and allowed access that they refuse everyone else, and that's fuck them guys. And here we are, coming out of these protests. It's the citizen journalists, it's the independent journalists, it's the guys that are just trying to take a cell phone video for posterity purposes, that are catching some of the most audacious and heinous acts at the hands of police against protesters complaining about police using heinous and violent tactics against people. And in some cities they've taken an opposite turn. They're not being violent. They're not abusing protesters, and those towns are doing relatively well, at least in general.
Right.
So just remember that.
I mean, here's something for you that happened in the recent past that leads to some
Bullying me
shit.
as an adult. Fuck you, Guzman.
You want to have a cup of coffee and talk like two adults? Or you want to have...
No, I want your face in the pillow. That's what I want.
I'm sorry? Are you making sexual references for you?
I can assure you I did not desire sexual relations with that officer.
What?
No, I said put your face in the pillow. That's not a sexual reference. What the fuck is wrong with you? What were you thinking? I was worried about your head. I thought you might get it hurt. You needed a little bit of cushioning. Concerned for his cranium, and he thinks it's a sexual relation. What the fuck is wrong with those people?
Right. And it goes from that to this. You skip a little bit into it.
Cam we don't have, that's right. That's the body cam, guys. That guy planned his assault on Karen Sidaro, and then they deleted the body camera footage. Reveal the body cam.
Right. It's all word. Look.
You want some close to me? You want to rub his pecker up against me, right?
He can't rub his pecker up against you. He hasn't seen that little thing in years.
You know.
Hey, you see this? Hey, tell her I got you on video. You think that is?
Oh, how nice. Yes, set the tables all up for everybody. We can have a picnic.
So, did you want to talk to me or what?
Are we done?
Yeah, I know. We're done. What do you want to talk about?
Where's the body cam from Karen Sidara, you fat fucker? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Over here. Over here.
Look at this.
Over here. This guy's a psycho.
He's a psycho. Get out of my face, he said. Get out of my face.
Look, I mean,
Get out of my face.
Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Fuck you, pig.
see,
Fuck you, pig. Get out of my face. Go fuck yourself, you fat fucker. Go fuck yourself. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? You fat fucking son of a bitch. Yeah, punch me in the face, bitch. Come do it. You're a fucking tyrant. You're a fucking tyrant. You need to lay off the roids, fucker. Get away from me.
That you are. You're a fucking dude.
Don't interfere with my journalism.
Yeah. You shut out just like you fucking are. You fucking disrespectful.
You back off. Fuck you, Guzman. Fuck you. What the fuck is wrong with you, you fat psycho son of a bitch? Where's Karen Sidaro's body cam? Huh? Yeah, no, the one you deleted, fucker. Well, then produce that shit. All the way. You transported Brian Loma to the jail, and you talked about your plans to take out Karen Sidaro. We want that fucking camera.
What my public servants are fucking acting like you high blood pressure.
Don't you fucking come at me, you piece of shit.
Yeah, you fucking pussy.
Okay, so in case you're having difficulty following what's going on, these particular officers just, I believe, a week prior, got together and conspired on arresting a fellow activist and making charges.
making charges up against these guys. Yeah, Otto, you were having a little bit of trouble. Give me just a second. Let me see if I can get him patched in a different way. We were kind of prepared for this, I think. No. So. You know, these are the things that build this up, one grain of salt at a time. Hey, buddy. Let's see if I can get you piped in.
Yeah.
I think you're talking, brother.
All right, we back?
I think you're back.
Okay, so the issue here is that the week previously, these particular individuals, Sounder of Swine, arrested a fellow activist, and they conspired beforehand on what to make up and charge the fellow activist Karen Sidaro with, and then they effected the arrest, and then the body cam disappeared. Right. So this pig walking around and showing that he does in fact have a body cam is taunting. Okay, and then he keeps taking it off and holding it up. I mean, and the way he's walking, it's just, this guy has been a problem cop for a long time, and nothing's been done about it. And that's indicative of the larger problem, that there's a lot of dirty little piggies in the Denver Police Department who have been there for an awfully long time.
Yep.
The same dirty little piggies that we've been complaining about, that Eric has been complaining about, are the same ones driving around shooting at people in the face, targeting press because they finally get to unleash their vengeance.
Right.
Right? No, I can't do it when my face is out there, right? Just like the difference between a protester and a rioter. right? Well, you did that. You created an entire nation of pissed off, masked, angry citizens, right? And your response is to put the very same people that we're saying are brutal, violent thugs, and then give them a mask. Well, they call it a helmet. And then you're going to give them all kinds of weapons and tools and an excuse and anonymity to carry out their acts of violence on the very same people who are saying that they're violent thugs. Makes a lot of sense to me, man.
Let's take a break for a second and do a commercial real quick.
I'll see if I pull this back. The internet's looking good.
No worries. We'll see if we can do that. You make it back, Otto? You're muted. Hey, brother.
I guess I'm not coming through on through the computer. Huh?
I guess not.
We're going across the country and looking at individual instances where police have used violence against people protesting against police violence.
Right.
And some of these are quite disturbing. What's the next one we got?
Next one that I had of it. Sorry, it's not pulling up as fast as I thought it should. So
We're going across.
You're a little far away from the mic.
No, it was a playback, so I can watch it.
Definitely.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to answer Monkey. I don't know what you're talking about. They didn't shoot at me at a car, that at least that I'm aware of. Oh, are you talking about the moving car? We would have to discuss more information so I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Clarification.
So, I mean, it's little interactions like that build, to me, seem to build into huge interactions like these. Right? You got people driving through. People getting shoved to the ground for no reason. Right.
Oh, those things, those actions by police didn't come from nowhere. They came because it's pattern and practice. Now, do I think that they drive through people all the time? No, I don't. But we heard some audio coming out of New York.
What's up, Pikes?
Say what?
I said hello to Pikes.
Oh, Pikes, yeah. So we heard some audio coming out of New York where the police, one officer was saying, they got the road blocked off. The traffic is bad. I'm kind of stuck here. And other police officers suggested that they run them over. And yet another police officer suggested that they just shoot those motherfuckers. And I don't know when you guys are at in this video, but I just saw a police officer in an unmarked squad car drive by and open the door to hit a protester, which would be aggravated assault with a motor vehicle if you or I were to do it. So this is again exactly what we're talking about. Police officers are running a fucking muck in this country, and you and I are funding it and providing scapegoats and punching bags and live targets. I mean, if you want to talk, we talked about the press conference where whatever douchebag said that this is a live exercise, and the president said, "Well, I wish you would have told me." Well, this is a live exercise. This is they're actively practicing how to slaughter a whole lot of people all at once. The only difference that they would really have to do is change the chemical compounds in those little spray bottles and the ammunition in those little paintball guns that they got, and just a change in ammunition, and the next thing you know, you got a standing army with full fucking body gear. These guys are more heavily armed than military.
Oh, I thought I had found it.
What they wanted to do.
I mean, these are behaviors that if our soldiers were doing in a foreign country, they would be court-martialed for. But here we are in America, and they are American police initiating brutal violence on American citizens.
Right.
And this is exactly what we're talking about. This is exactly why people are pissed off. And congratulate. I have to give some respect to the protesters. They have not directly opened fire on police. Right?
So we have a group of people blocking traffic on Albany and Dean Street. They're refusing to let the orange go eastbound on Dean Street and Albany. So we're stuck here. Run them over. Shoot those motherfucker. Don't put that over yet.
Right.
Is anybody surprised? Man,
Yeah, I mean, and then the other thing is you come in here, and I mean, there's just picture after picture after picture. I mean, you can search. And what's interesting is that sometimes you search for it and there's nothing there. Right? Oh, or what is there? Right? What is there is all mainstream. Oh, here's somebody else doing it. Right? But there's still Phoenix, right? This guy's doing multiple places. Atlanta still has one. The White House, protesters still outside the White House. Just everywhere.
Hmm. Well, there's a whole range of legal paperwork issues as a result of all of this. But I think more poignantly, there's a morality question that we all need to start asking ourselves. When something is legal, but it isn't right, it is still wrong. And we really have to start asking ourselves what is right and what is wrong. And we got to stop making decisions for other people and how they live their life. And I think we all just need to take a big old dose of mind our own fucking business. Right. And we can't be, we have to, the people have to join together some way over anything. Whatever it is that's going to bring people together to stand up against everything that we see as wrong. Whatever it is that you see as wrong, we're going to have to get together. And hopefully we won't be burning down our cities when we do so.
Indeed.
Right? But if we keep trying to come together and telling the governments of not only this country but across the world that we don't like what you're doing and we don't like the plans that you're enacting, and if you don't do something about it, we are going to.
Yeah.
And that's what you saw out of Hong Kong. Everybody's kind of freaking out because this has been going on for a week.
America.
We're just getting started compared to the rest of the world.
Yeah, we're just now getting there. Right? Everybody else has been doing it for a long time.
I mean, this is out of Atlanta. You know, I mean, they're not done. I mean, California's not done. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I believe that, you know, people, there needs to be real change. And, you know, frankly, I think that all patrols should be like the European cops. They shouldn't have any guns.
No, it's getting that way.
I
right?
mean,
But they don't need guns, right? So, of all the people who are killed by police, I'm sure a lot of those are justifiable-ish, you know, at least a little bit, at least to their policies, you know, they all are. But I think that when we start talking about police brutality, the murders are less less. I mean, they're shocking and they get people motivated to take action, but they're less numerous than the savage beatings that go unreported on a daily basis. The excessive force, even though somebody may be 100% guilty and you saw them do it, that doesn't mean that you beat the fuck out of them. And we see that a lot.
right.
I mean, look at this. This is unity. This is people of all ages and races coming together against the common cause, and that's got to scare the ever living shit out of the authorities, the quote unquote authority.
Right. And it's just Garden Grove. I mean, they're everywhere.
Chris Marcus asked, "What do we protesters expect when cops are on overtime and we protesters are interrupting the cops' fuck off time?" You know, I don't think that the police are all that upset about having to come to these protests. I think for the first few days they rather enjoyed it. I don't think that they're liking it so much now that they're having to listen to the people. I think that in a lot of these major cities, they got called out on their actions and how they were increasing the resistance. And when they started changing their tactics, you know, now we just have to we have to hold them to it, right? So if they're going to say, yeah, we're sorry, we're going to do difference. If you're going to come out here and take a knee with us, that knee is symbolic. And if you lie to us again, do you think that this is bad, right? This is bad because we've been lied to before, right? Riots are the language of the unheard, and I'm telling you guys, you're going to have to start listening to somebody. They're not real fucking happy with it. It's policy changes. They're after policy changes. You know, they finally charged these all 4 police officers. At least I read that today, that they charged all 4 police officers. And do I think it's going to change the fucking thing? No, I don't. We've seen that before. We've heard that lie. We've heard that story. You say they're charged, and then they go to court and they get a slap on the wrist and sentencing, even if they are found guilty.
Right.
And no, arresting these 4 police officers is a good start, right? But unless you're going to look back and start arresting police officers for assault, and if you're going to start charging them as citizens and not as police officers, if you're not going to end this qualified immunity question or even hear it in Supreme Court, they don't even want to hear about it. No, that's a complaint from the pesky citizens. We don't need any of that. We know what's best for you. Just obey.
Yeah.
Unsub says, when you make peaceful revolution impossible, you make violent revolution inevitable. I think it was when you make peaceful protest impossible, you make violent revolution inevitable.
Right.
I think that's the closer. Daniel Camaroa says 2 people have died in Iowa, 1 in Kentucky, 2 in Minneapolis, 36 gunshot wounds, more than 9,000 arrests in 47 cities. Our American dream was to be subjected to 200 years to see how they killed blacks. Was to be subjected for 200 years. I'm not sure how
yeah. But
yeah, you know, now it's now that we're unified, right? Now that it's not just police beating up on black people. So the actually, you might be surprised if you watch mainstream media, but the number of people who are murdered each year by police, or killed, I should say, killed by police. The number of white people is actually double that of blacks. The problem is that black African groups that identify as black that are identified as black are a minority. So if they are less than half the population and taking up half of the people killed by police and the vast majority of people who are in fact in prison, there's obviously a disparity there. And it's not about punishing white people more. It's not about people being police being more violent to white people. I don't think that even even the most staunch racial opponents on the African side would agree with that. They want the black people to stop being overly punished, right? We want to see some police officers be held accountable for their actions. Every once in a while would be okay, you know, right? At least for starters.
I mean, you know, be a surprise how little good faith and true action would actually go.
Yeah, you know, and I'm afraid that focusing on the racial aspect of these cases is going to end up backfiring. You know, people who were kids during the race riots still remember that, and they're still afraid of it, and for good reason. But now we're really not seeing that on the streets, right? We're seeing a huge mix of different races, and so this is not a racial issue in the streets. It might be portrayed that way in the media, but in the streets, it's a different story. And we're all in this together. You know, we're all standing together.
And exactly, and that's the thing is that, you know, mainstream's giving you mainstream bullshit. Don't think it changed just because they're getting popped with fucking balls, and you know their little reporters, their little ants, are getting hurt. Yeah, we're watching. This is Garden Grove. I'm just, I was pulling up some other stuff on the other side, but just astonishing. You know, to see how many places. I mean, fuck, Unicorn Riots is live too. And he's right in the midst of it. Right?
Right.
I mean, they're still fucking there. You know? And it's reverberating. People are tired. You know? I gotta go find that one picture you were telling me about, but, you know, lady was holding a sign that said even white people are tired of white people's shit.
Right. Yeah, I should have saved it.
I mean, dude, I mean,
It's really exhausting. While you're looking that up, I'll take a moment and say, hey guys, thanks for coming to the Watchdog News Network. I'm going to post the link to our Teespring store. You can pick up a press shirt. So when I designed these shirts, the idea was that I wanted to be clearly identified as press.
Right.
Because I have an allergic reaction to bullshit, and I have the right to remain silent, but I do not have the ability. So I wanted to have a shirt that would limit the tomfoolery that police departments would bring upon me. Unfortunately, it seems to have backfired because at these protests, the dirty little piggies are specifically attacking press. But if you would like a press shirt, just in case the New World Order doesn't continue trying to murder members of the media who are spreading messages that they don't like, you can always go to Teespring stores, teespring.com/stores/Watchdog News, and pick one of those up. And like and subscribe and share with all your friends.
Or share with all your enemies. We don't care.
Yeah. Hey, you can always copy the link to this video and send it to your local police department. And if you would give them the current timestamp, I'll have a message for the piggies. Fuck you, police.
Mm-hmm.
That is all.
This is basically this dude tried to drop a firework in the middle of a protest, and protesters threw it in his car.
Oh, no.
Hey, what the? Oh shit! Oh shit!
Get back up here.
No! Hey, what the? Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah. The problem with getting on these bridges and stuff, you're kind of locked in, right? But when you have that many people,
that is fucking hilarious.
what, watching that dude getting it thrown back in there?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the legality of it, but I'm not upset. I'm not upset with the guy who threw that in the guy's car.
No.
Not even a little bit. I'm honestly, I'm not really even too terribly upset at the guy. I don't know what at the guy with the firecracker. I don't know what kind of firecracker that is, and I think that's kind of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, firecrackers are a fantastic way to simulate the warfare that a protest represents. But it's a little bit scary. Nobody likes nobody knows what the fuck you're doing, right? Nope. But then again, we don't really know what the police are coming up and scheming with either.
Nope.
So trying to keep it balanced. Okay, what's up? What's this one?
So I don't know. This is just another. I see copies.
I see a camera.
I see a guy with I think it's a little horn. But let's see.
Encore, s'il te plaît, encore. C'est magnifique. Encore, s'il te plaît, encore.
So he's playing the Empire March to those bastards walking down the street. That was good.
That was fantastic.
That was fucking great, actually. Right.
I got muscles like Superman training. Real rare like Super Saiyan.
That was about 40 minutes ago. Everybody out there dancing. I'll quit playing the music, so, Always why Trump brings up a witch hunt. I mean, but this is just hashtag protest, right? I mean, like I said, I can't spell, so.
I'm looking for links. And of course, I can't find it when it counts. Nope, I'm not sure which one is that.
We're gonna steal a viewer submitted video here.
Excellent. Oh man, I love viewer submitted videos.
Alright. Thank you. You got this one, the call to action.
It's quite large.
Here's the pool, please. You know, we're closing in on that 45-minute mark, or excuse me, 50-minute mark.
Maybe not somehow. Downtown has been pretty hot. Leave it at that.
Here's Unicorn and Riot.
See the famous Gate 90s?
It's
Nightclub. The brand new AC Hotel here in Minneapolis. So in the distance, in the background, that's a housing complex, and that's a new library off to the right. $2 million library, very nice.
Show video shows.
Holds a lot of books and some community programming spaces. The first precinct is right up the street. I'm guessing that's what people are out here. Thanks to. Yep, it looks like they're fainting at the police precinct. And the police have the street blocked off.
No peace. Prosecute the police. No justice, 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 no peace.
Off to your left.
Prosecute the police.
Oh, come on. Thought I had it.
One of the most disturbing images from last night is that of a young woman and her husband being savagely beaten outside their Rochester apartment. Haunted by that image, we return to the scene today, and we're not the only ones there. Denise Brooks came from Palmyra with flowers and a card for a woman she'd never met. The woman brutally beaten in this very spot.
It was just heartbreaking. So I just wanted to do something.
Shelly Gonzalez came to this.
Sorry, damn it.
Well, I finally found the link that I was looking for.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, now I got to sort them all out.
Right. Crazy, man.
You know, something that I wanted to do. And I jumped up, I just, get out of here, out of my house now. And, you know, they came at me, the big one in the orange. grabbed my shirt and spun me, and it all got crazy. It got 2x4, man. Oh my God, I can't believe how sorry.
Medic.
Not down for that shit. Talking on cell phones instead of radios.
Triple barricaded, actually. It has two layers of concrete on certain spots, 2 layers on top, 2 layers on the bottom. You see in the distance, there's one behind us. You see in between there. So it's definitely cemented in, barricaded in. Police are very fearful of First Precinct being overrun by the people as it was in Third Precinct. You saw how much power the people had during those times.
Getting crazy in these places.
And it's the police response.
Okay, so you want to know what I see here?
What?
I see liberty.
I do.
Without that person having due process. But see, we don't have a death penalty in Minnesota. But why have so many cops been allowed to execute people without any accountability?
All right, I got a couple things before we get out of here.
Yeah, man.
So
What you got, bro?
I don't know if oh, okay. So what I see going on with that wall there, I see liberty. I see a bunch of so you know that there's a lot of cops on the other side of that wall.
Mm-hmm.
You know that there is, and as long as they stay the fuck over there, those people on the other side of the wall are safe.
Holy shit! They've even built a secondary wall in there.
A secondary wall?
Yeah, he's looking. Look, I mean, it's a secondary wall that they styrofoamed in. They have 2 canisters each of fucking mace, right?
Well, that looks like that doesn't look like a cop, does it? Wow.
And then have a youth outreach tent on the other side of it. See that shit?
Wow. Well, what I see happening is that the government is afraid of the people, and they should be. We outnumber them. There's approximately 360 million Americans, and that's a lot of motherfucking people. There's approximately 900,000 local police officers. There's probably double that federal and state agents, so probably 300,000 government employees. Now, of course, they're way more effective because they have better weapons and tools and communications, and we have the exclusive right to violence. But they're still shaking in their fucking boots, and they should be. So they think that because they used protests have been crushed before, that they're immune, and we are all upset. And I hope that they don't take this lightly. Even if this all calms down, it's still just an open, festering wound that's ready to bust open again.
Right.
And it's not going to stop until change comes. Simple as that. People that just naturally will not fucking tolerate being oppressed forever. Nope.
Nope.
Well, maybe I'm watching a video.
What video are you watching?
Oh, I'm watching our video because I'm having to communicate with you over the phone.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
You find the link that you wanted me to show, or?
Oh,
Yeah.
no. I
Yeah,
was looking for the Eric Brandt PayPal pool. If you would like to donate to the Eric Brandt Freedom Fund, this is the PayPal link to use. If you have any questions about the Eric Brandt Freedom Fund, you should contact the host of the PayPal at freetheericbrandt@gmail.com. Other than that, I appreciate all you guys coming in and joining us today for another Watchdog report. I hope to see you again tomorrow as we talk about more stuff that's fucked up and things and things of that sort.
Yeah, man.
We're going to continue to bring you stories that are underreported. Tonight, on the Watchdog News Network, we have a hosting of the Ruby Ridge story. It's a long one, okay? This is a documentary. It's a little bit different than some of the stuff that we usually do and talk about. But it's information that I think everybody needs to know, especially if you're interested in freedom or you have an opinion that you would like to express about the government and displeasure therefore. Before you do so, you might want to watch some of these videos, especially now with our current day and age,
Right.
I think that's good information. So on the way out, guys, please smash that like button and share with your friends and ring that bell, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, friends and code.
Well, you know what? If I'd actually clicked the right button, here we go. Later.